This is where I was born.
This small house hardly seems large enough to hold Celia Swank's memories.
Walked this many times.
But don't worry, there's room in the garage.
This was a buggy shed and had buggies left over from what my dad used.
Most of the old houses in Lake City hold similar memories, but fewer and fewer garages and other outbuildings survive.
Our outbuildings in the historic district have lost their purpose, the original intended use.
These were the carriage sheds, the coal barns, even the outhouses.
And all redundant now. Very few sleighs or carriages. Coal isn't a big deal in Lake City with gas that we have.
These buildings often tell more of the story of Lake City than the houses.
How did they heat that house? How did the owner travel? How did sanitation fit into that?
We do have the Cummings carriage house here on the left.
This would have been big enough that he had both a carriage and a sleigh, and he was our doctor. So transportation was important to Dr. Cummings. Possibly a pioneer structure that was retired. We can see on this log right here, and all along where a broad axe has been very carefully used to square this log all the way for its entire length.
That these buildings have even survived this long is remarkable in its own right.
And they weren't meant to last. They don't have foundations like regular houses. The roofing hasn't been kept up.
If they were more prominent, they probably would have been torn down.
The buildings that are built on the alley and toward the back of the property have a lot less use and interest, so they're just basically forgotten.
Forgotten and increasingly fragile. One in particular brought the issue to the forefront.
You look up 4th Street, it's there. It's very visible. The property owner asked to demolish the building, and that really opened our eyes and gained our attention to we need to do something, or this is just going to be a domino effect of continuing to lose these structures, if not demolished, purposely demolished by neglect. It's critical that we do maintain these buildings, or we jeopardize and threaten our historic district.
The mission now, find the money to stabilize them.
Hopefully, with that, we can leverage and gain additional funds through possibly the state historical fund and other sources.
In the meantime, city leaders intend to work with property owners to do what they can to shore up the buildings.
The owner's proactive here because you'll notice that the roof is relatively new. As long as we keep the moisture shedded off the roof and away from the interior of the building, there's no reason that they can't last an indefinite time.
This is just a wood chip.
Ensuring that the memories of Celia Swank and other Lake City residents will always have a place to call home.